you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Garoppolo now. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Now Garoppolo. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Down to the 25. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
We'll talk about a rhythm breaker right there. They've been moving the ball well. Drive it started beautifully. That one's going to hurt.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Looking to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Now Ka'imi Fairbairn for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Let's go now. 43 rail. Ready.
They'll start with the option. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And I do believe that sometimes as a defender, when you see read option, you're just making an educated guess because the offense feels like no matter what move you make, it turns out right for them. Sometimes it can burn you making that guess, but I think here, he said, I'm pursuing the quarterback no matter what he does. And this time, he picked the right option.
And his top speed, according to Next Gen Stats, and even 19 miles an hour. Throwing on 2nd down, Lance. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Here's Lance. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Pats are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Isaiah Pacheco with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Come on, set.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And Lance now to throw. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Well, there you go, Charles, his first touchdown pass of the new season.
Well, let's just go back to his rookie year because he's able to get his feet wet, right? Get a little bit of experience. Now I think here in year 2, the game will slow down for him, and we'll see his true talents come out.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Now on 2nd and 13. Garoppolo. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Escaping the pressure right. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he will have a Patriots first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action, Garoppolo. And he finds his tight end, it's Ertz.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Garoppolo on 1st down. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This drive didn't end well, but if they can keep stringing these together, they'll like what they're doing. That was an 8-play drive before it ended in a fumble. So the takeaway's got to be doing what we want to do and doing it well. Just got to take care of the ball at the end.
They'll start on the ground with Cannon.
And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Lance looking to throw it.
And it's intercepted in the end zone.
Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they wanted it with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
McKenzie now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Here we go, set. Black Ultra. Ready.
Here's Lance to throw it.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Patriots are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown, Patriots. Calvin Ridley, 50 yards. And the Patriots are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. McKenzie now from his end zone. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Let's go.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. As they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Ready, set.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Down.
13 yards remaining on second down. To throw, it's Lance. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Pats are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
On first down, Garoppolo. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Patriots are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. McKenzie now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And Lance going to throw. He'll fire it deep for Rager. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Ready. Hey, check mega.
A final shot before half for Lance. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. McKenzie now from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3? On that play sheet for any of those coordinators, they just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Ready.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing now is Lance. Open man here is Conklin. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On play action, Lance. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. McKenzie now from his end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Now Lance. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Lance. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 33. Straight ahead, this is Cannon. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has now allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Throwing is Lance on 3rd down.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Lance to throw for it on 4th down.
Taking a shot for Samuel. And now here is another interception. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off.
Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Wait. 21.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. On play action. Now Garoppolo. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And they work this out past the 25. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. But we'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
57 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
Here we go.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Working from the gun. Lance winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Deebo Samuel.
Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Dolphins get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead's down to 24. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
13!
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Zach Ertz has it complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
On 2nd and 10, Garoppolo. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles. That lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. This will be a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
McKenzie now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing on 2nd and 14.
Lance.
He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And the Patriots are going to take possession of the football.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
Micah Parsons in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
21.
Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. Under pressure, and they got to him again. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
And Lance now to throw.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And the Pats are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Patriots, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens.